Hi everyone, I'm dear teacher. We are from Group 11 and today the topic that we would like to discuss is Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad. And my name is Sawanting. My mentoring number is 211220673. Firstly, I'd like to introduce the company overview about the company that we just discussed, that is Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad, as we can call as MAHB. This company was established at 1991 here, and the main industry for this company was airport management. Besides that, the headquarters for MAHB was at Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Sepang, Malaysia. And the important figure for MHB was Datuk Muhammad Sukri Muhammad Shaleh, that is the holder for MHB. Next, introduce the vision, mission, and code of ethics for Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad. Firstly, for vision, they would like to become a global leader in creating airport city in 2020, that is world-class airport business. While for mission, there are 4 missions for MHB company. Firstly is connect travelers and businesses to create enjoyable travel experiences together. Then second, providing world-class aviation gateways, and then third is managing cost-effective airport network and services, and fourth is exceeding the expectations of customer, shareholder, and other stakeholders. Then lastly, for code ethics, the example that I will give is as employees, they would like to hope that the employees maintaining the integrity of the company. Then second, they also hope that the employees can comply with all requirements and regulation of the laws enforced in the various regions. Lastly, I will introduce the product and services that Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad will provide. As you know that MAHB manage 39 airports in Malaysia that include 5 international airports, 16 domestic airports, and 8 short take-off and landing. That is toll ports. For Malaysia operation segment, MAHB provide duty-free and non-dutiable goods, airport service, agriculture and horticulture, hotel, and also project and repair maintenance service. Well, for overseas operation segment, MAHB provide project and repair maintenance and airport services. Well, the other products and services that MHB will also provide is provide management service in aspect of food and beverage outlets at designated airports. Last but not least, cultivate and sell oil palm and other agriculture products is also one of the products and services that MHB will provide. And other such as manage and operate a hotel like Sama Sama Hotel and Sama Sama Express Kuala Lumpur International Airports is also the products and services that MHB will provide.
Hello, my name is Emily Yung Chai Fong. I'm from 21C. I'm going to present about the vertical income statement Malaysia Airport. From the table above, the gross profit margin, operating income margin, and net income margin for the Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad remain stable for the last 3 years. The steady margin indicates that the company's business strength as it needs a spotless management managing the accounts by a variety of challenges faced throughout its operation. Thank you. That's all for the vertical income statement for Malaysia Airport Holdings Berhad.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Iqbal Effendi. My entry number is 211220582. I will explain about vertical financial statement. In year 2019, the total for non-current assets they get is RM17,774,884, which is 80.15%. Intangible assets were being recorded as the highest percentage of non-current assets, which 72.43%. For current assets, financial assets at fair value through profit or loss are RM1,755,820 with 7.92%, which is the highest recorded, and the lowest recorded is biological assets recoverable with RM2,365 with 0.101%. In year 2020, the total amount of total assets was recorded as much as RM20278,915. For the non-current still intangible asset with RM158940104, with the percentage is 78.38%, is the highest recorded, same as the 2019 report. The lowest for the non-current asset is employee loans with RM21487, which is 0.11%, and the amount of total non-current asset is RM175,856,461 with the percentage is 88.05%. In year 2021, the total assets for this year are RM20,162,562. For non-current assets that recorded, the highest amount is still intangible assets with RM152,15413, which is the percentage is 75.46%. The lowest for the non-current assets is employee loans with 0.09%, which is the amount was RM1789866, and the total of non-current assets is RM17347,959.
Next, I'm going to present about the horizontal income statement for Malaysia Airport Berhad. The figures started to drop from 2019, which is the 64.20% to 10.63% in the latest year in 2021. Besides that, the gross profit for the year 2021 displayed on 7.68% changes, which indicates a significant decrease due to the global COVID-19 outbreak, which led the company's profits to collapse drastically in 2021 from 62.84% in 2020 to 7.68% in 2021. Meanwhile, the percentage of operating income for the latest year in 2021 plunged from 56.45% in 2020 to 32.94% in 2021. The business displayed a bad health condition to the eye of public, especially in investors, because of the profit after tax dropping so much year by year. Even in year 2020, 307.84% started, rather than in year 2021, the percentage of reduced to 301.01% because of pandemic season. Overall, based on the Malaysia Airports income statement, information really indicates that airlines cannot hold any consequences in form of profit because the border have been closed by the government and did not allow any flight across the country border. Thank you. That's all for my presentation.
It's 2020 horizontal financial statement. In 2020, the non-current assets for property, plant and equipment decreased from RM 445,05048 in 2019 to RM 433,670 in 2020, and the percentage is 4.070%. For investment in joint ventures, slightly decreased from RM 104,210 in 2019 to RM 104,167 in 2020, with the percentage is 0.04%. For investment in associates also decreased. 2019 recorded RM 126,977 to RM 110,989 in 2020 and 20, with a percentage of 12.56%. For the current assets, trade and other receivable is decreasing with the amount of RM 138,995 from 2020 to 2001 that is shown on the table.
Good morning, doctor. My name is Tan Jing Yu. I'm from class 21C, group 11. My metric number is 2112206X7. Today I will present about the ratio calculation and ratio interpretation. The first one is liquidity ratio. There has two types of ratio under the liquidity ratio, which are current ratio and quick ratio. Current ratio, from the result that we calculate, we can conclude that the current ratio of year 2019, 2020 and 2021 are less than the industry average, which is 1.66 times. This means the current assets of Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad did not fulfill the requirements to complete the claims against its current liabilities. The current ratio is not satisfactory. Quick ratio. From the result that we calculate, we can conclude that the condition of the quick ratio on year 2019 and 2020 is satisfactory, while the condition of the quick ratio on the year 2021 is unsatisfactory. Efficiency ratio. There have many types of ratio under the efficiency ratio. Inventory turnover ratio. From the result that we calculate, we can conclude the inventory turnover ratio on year 2020 and 2021 are lower than the industry average. It means that weak sales and possibly excess inventory, also known as overstocking, while the inventory turnover ratio on year 2019 is more than industry average. It means that an item sells well, but it could also indicate that there's not enough of it in stock. Average collection period ratio. The average collection period on year 2019 and 2021 is good. This is because the average collection period ratio is lower than the industry average. The average collection period on year 2020 is bad. This is because Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad used many days to collect the credit sales. Total asset turnover ratio. From the result that we calculate, we can conclude that the total asset turnover for Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad is not satisfactory for the year 2020 and 2021. The ratio for both of the years show that the management does not use resources efficiently to generate sales, while the total assets turnover for Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad is satisfactory for the year 2019 because it is higher than the industry average, which is 0.24 times. Fixed assets turnover ratio. From the result that we calculate, we can conclude that the fixed assets turnover ratio for year 2020 and 2021 is satisfactory. The fixed assets turnover ratio for year 2019 is unsatisfactory. Account receivable turnover ratio. The account receivable turnover ratio of Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad in the year 2019 is 3.9 times per annum, which is satisfactory with industry average of 1.94 times, while the account receivable turnover ratio for year 2020 and 2021 is unsatisfactory.
Hi, my name is Tatasi. Leverage ratio. There's 5 sub-ratio under the leverage ratio. Debt ratio. The debt ratio value in 2019 and 2020 is lower as compared to the industry average, so it is satisfactory. Return on interest ratio. The return on interest ratio value in 2020 is negative 2.7 times lower than industry average 2.16 times. It means high use of debt or leverage. Debt equity ratio. The debt equity ratio was only recorded RM 1.53 and RM 1.73 in 2019 and 2020, lower than industry average. This condition is satisfactory. Equity multiplier ratio. The equity multiplier ratio in the years of 2019 and 2020 is lower than the industry average with 2.64 times and 2.87 times. This shows that the situation is satisfactory. Long-term debt to total capitalization ratio. In 2019, 30% of the firm's capital structure consists of debt, which is lower than the industry average. This situation is satisfactory. Profitability ratio. Gross profit margin ratio. The gross profit margin ratio in 2021 is 98%. This means the company can control production costs. This condition is satisfactory. Operating profit margin ratio. The operating profit margin ratio in 2019 is 15 higher than the industry average negative 30%, which is satisfactory. Net profit margin ratio. In 2019, for every RM1 invested in sales, Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad can gain a net profit of RM0.10, but in 2020 and 2021, for every RM1 invested in sales, Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad can lose a net profit of 0.60 and RM0.45. Return on total asset ratio. In 2019, the return on total assets ratio is higher than industry average of negative 2.3% for every RM1 of total assets, which is satisfactory. The last is return on owner equity ratio. The returns in 2019 and 2021 are higher compared to the industry average, which is 6.4% and 12.29%, and is satisfactory. Thank you.
A very good day to Dr. I'm Lucy Tanvi from 21C. Now I will continue to share the next part, which is recommendations. For the first way, Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad can sell or shut the unnecessary assets. When liquidity of a company decreases, company is hard to handle urgent situation due to lack of capital. So the company can sell the assets that cannot help to generate profits again in the company, and it can help to gain capital to increase the liquidity of the company. Besides, the capital earned can save in the company bank account to earn dividend. In conclusion, liquidity is important to a company. Next, the company can also monitor or control daily budget. Budget is important to keep all the expenses in control area. The company must always review the financial position to make sure all the expenses in control area. This action can avoid mistakes that will cause losses to the company happen. In conclusion, budget is important to a company as it can preserve an expansion outlook to the company and affect the profits of a company directly. Lastly, the company can also amend new offers and plans to consumers. Some plans or offers in company are not longer bring profits to the company. Thus, the company can exclude the plans and offers. New plans and offers can be conducted such as raise the prices to consumers. After the plans execute, the company can check for feedbacks from consumers to improve the insufficient. In conclusion, they are the only way that can help to increase the profits of the company in short term. Now I will talk about the conclusion. The risk and efficiency of Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad has been discussed in this report. There are three ratios that show the financial status of the company. First is quick ratio. The quick ratio shows unstable conditions. This ratio rise and fall in 3 years. In 2019 and 2020, the company still can cover the firm's obligations, but in 2021, this company already cannot do it. Next is total assets turnover ratio. This ratio keep decrease in 3 years, and the ratio keep decrease from 2019 and until 2021. This is because the company did not use all the resources well to generate profits. The last one is gross profit margin ratio. This ratio keep rising in 3 years. The increasing in 2021 means the company can control the production cost. The ratio in 2019 and 2020 less than 2021 means the company are not able to control the cost. In conclusion, people are not encouraged to invest in this time to the company until the pandemic of COVID-19 in the world. So that's all in my sharing today. Thank you.